All in the news. Now, most of us know that it's racist and set up for failure, because look at California. Now, they say that the people that benefited from DEI were white women. First off, if you are putting someone in a position of a job based on their sexual orientation or their skin color or otherwise, that right there is an indication that this ain't gonna go so well. You put people in positions due to merit, due to skill, education, all that stuff, a resume, things of that nature. DEI. Are they going to enforce that in the NBA? Are they going to enforce that in any sports for that matter? Are they going to enforce DEI? Do you hear me complaining that there's not enough white basketball players and my son feels like he's being left out because he's not being taken counted for it? They're not equitable to him. No, listen, that shit's stupid to begin with. A lot of things we got to get back to. We need to get back to some of the hazing. We need to get back to some of the making fun of people, building character. We got a whole bunch of pussies and weak-ass people in the world because they're so worried about hurting somebody's fucking feelings. People don't worry about hurting my feelings. So don't worry about hurting other people's feelings. Now, I'm not saying be malicious and go out here and just start hurting people's feelings. That's not what I mean at all. What I mean is, when I was younger, you would laugh and make fun of people because they were not fitting a mold that was natural and was morally correct. When I was young, if I seen a dude dressed up as a woman, and it's a big burly dude, he ain't even feminine, right? Yeah, hey, wow, what the fuck? Yeah, duh. Like, I'm supposed to just be like, oh yeah, that's fucking normal. Or this weird shit out west where they walk around nude and shit around kids, but penises hanging out and shit. These people are out of their fucking minds, dude. We need insane asylums like never before. We need a place to put people that cannot function in society properly. Like, this is such a touchy subject too, because I know I'm coming off the wrong way. So the best way for me to sum this up is, if someone has a mental issue going on, they need help. They don't need affirming. You don't tell people, like drug addicts, for instance, you don't give a drug addict a different drug to use because they're still a drug addict then. Just because the drug is government approved and legal does not mean that it's not a drug. It's still a fucking drug. Methadone is a drug. Suboxone strips are a drug. Drug fiends, dope addicts, still, just because the government gives it to you and it's legal, and you got to keep it in your system when you go and get retested so you can keep getting this fucking, just stop doing the fucking drugs altogether, or just do the drugs. If you like drugs and you want to do drugs, well then fucking do what you like until you fucking die or whatever. It's your life. Live it however you want. If you want to dress up like a chick, dress up like a chick. But don't fool nobody and don't try to fool yourself. Okay? I know I touch on that one a lot. And the reason why is because I've been to places and I've seen some really fucked up shit. I've seen dudes with boobs in prison, right? And getting special treatment and being catered to and given their own cells and shit. No, it's a dude. I don't give a fuck if you got boobs or not. You're not allowed to have sex in prison anyways. And these fucking people are, and they just look the other way. They don't care no more. Prison system needs overhauled. For sure. I just came from prison. You could play fucking PlayStation 5. They're buying pedophiles PlayStation 5 to play in fucking prison. Allen Correctional right now has a whole dorm full of pedophiles that have video games, and they sit and play fucking video games after they molested children. Okay, so there's some problems here. People aren't scared to go to prison no more because the guards aren't even allowed to fucking put their hands on you no more. Just like the police aren't allowed to put their hands on you no more. Fuck that shit. Somebody's out of line, put them in line. You can't expect verbal commands to do everything. Because at some point, the verbal commands don't work no more. Then you have to go physical. I'm not sitting here preaching that I am. I'm pro-law enforcement. I am pro government on a local level that says, hey, people, do what you want to do. Vote in your own laws and rules. Just like abortion, for instance, on a state level. It should be up to the state. If you live in a state and it's a really good, wholesome state, and they're like, look, we don't believe in killing unborn babies. Okay, we don't. Because it's a baby. A woman's right to choose. But then they also use these words like reproductive rights. The word reproductive means you are reproducing. Okay, reproductive means reproduce. To reproduce, okay? So productive rights does not mean I can just kill my baby. If that's the case, why can't they kill them after they're out of the womb? Because they're still alive. There's still a heartbeat. They're still alive. They literally go in and break a baby's neck inside the womb and then suck it out of the... I mean, this is barbaric. And we are privy to this and we know about it and we still allow it to go on. It's barbaric. If the woman has been raped or she's going to die or medical issues, yeah, go through that procedure that you need to save your life or the baby's life, whatever, right? But just because you're fucking lazy and you want to enjoy your 20s, so you're going to have a baby ripped out of your womb because you couldn't put a condom, you couldn't make him put a condom on or pull out and put it in your fucking mouth or on your tits or something. I mean, get creative with the shit. And men, goddamn, men, it ain't even, I'm a weirdo. I want to put that shit somewhere. I'm not even into that. It come inside the, I mean, wait, what? Watch some porn and get some creativity going on, guys. If I can't stop, oh, you might be pregnant. Well, you fucking idiot. God damn, man. I tell you one thing, my daddy told me right away, as soon as he knew that the young man was getting ready to start busting nuts, he let me know right away, don't be busting no nuts and no women. He was all about getting married anyways and all that shit, like wholesome. Maybe my father was the last of a dying breed, a real gangster. A real gangster. I've only seen him cry once ever in my life. I don't even think he really cried. And was there through all that shit. But at the same time, he made sure that I didn't cuss. I wore my clothes properly. That I was educated. Educated me himself. Things of that nature. People don't take the time anymore to really get with their kids and say, hey, look, all this shit going on in the world is not cool. What's cool is to find a woman, marry that woman, and then decide to have children, so on and so forth. What's not cool is when they put people in positions of power that are uneducated, and they only put them in that position of power because of their sexual orientation or the color of their skin. That's racist. It's fucking wrong. I'm not going to be able to go to the NBA and say, look, you ain't got enough fucking white players. You got to put me on the court. Or we're going to tear this shit up. It don't work like that. That's not how a functioning society should function. It's not going to function that way. Look at the last 4 years of fucking chaos and turmoil. And now we're finally going back to some normalcy. But there's still these people resisting. They're still resisting. So that's why I propose California. Let's go on and annex California. And let all these people have California and just put them all there. And then we have the rest of the United States for normal people. Because California's fucked. I mean, I don't know if you've been paying attention, but they couldn't even put the fires out because they were worried about some fucking smolt fish or something. I don't even know, man. Really? The one thing you need is water to put fires out, to come through the fire hydrant. They have 3 women in the top positions of the fire department. Doesn't bother me, but all 3 just happen to be gay. All 3 just happen to be gay. So you mean to tell me all 3 of the most powerful fire positions in California are held by 3 gay women because of DEI, and half the fucking shit burns down and it's not their fault for DEI? Whose fault is it then? When the woman said, we want to make sure someone shows up that looks like you. Look, That woman that said that does not look like me. At all. I don't care who shows up. Just as long as they're strong enough to pull me out of a fucking burning house. I don't care if it's 6 fucking midgets stacked on top of each other and they're strong enough to pick me up and get me out of the goddamn house. I don't give a fuck what your sexual orientation is or your color. God damn, you people are crazy as fuck. Not to mention, I watched this thing and they went back and tried to say that DEI was created because of George Floyd. First off, don't get it twisted. Why don't you go and look up the goddamn autopsy report? Go watch the film in depth and see the man yelling on the ground that had a fucking overdose and died from it. He didn't die from no fucking knee on his neck. It was on his goddamn shoulder to begin with. Should they have rolled him over, put him on his side, got the ambulance there quicker? Probably. Did you look at the guy's record? Did you look at the guy's record? Convicted drug dealer multiple times on horrible drugs, not even like, you know, marijuana or some cocaine or a couple pills. No, fentanyl, hardcore drugs, heroin, shit like that. Okay, drugs that kill people and destroy lives. He's a peddler in that. Pushing fake money in a store. Went to prison multiple times for all kinds of assaults and even put a gun to a pregnant woman's belly to rob her. What a martyr they picked, didn't they? The cop didn't kill that fucking guy. He died from an overdose. But yet America was looking for a reason to tear shit up because they had been on a fucking quarantine locked in their houses. So the first chance they got in the media did that. You could thank them because the media don't want to report, hey, these two people are getting along and they're the opposite race and look at what they did together and they're awesome. No, they don't want to do that. That you could find that time and time again all over the place. Why would they report on that? That would bring people together. They don't want us to come together. Mainstream media is fucked too. Man, it's a blinking. I know what that means. I know what that means. I said some words that they don't like. So I'm going to get off here before they go ahead and ban me completely. Because you say them key words and it picks up on them. That's why we say unalive now. Or the R word. Which I'll say the R word. Racist.